and that has definitely benefited. Like, he also placed second. We did like a scrim before the whole event started, where we had like an 8-player reverse cup mode being played, and he actually placed second in that scrim match. So we'll see how this goes. So this format, since we're doing the reverse cup mode, this format really favors consistency. And most of the people here are starting to up the pace. So it's not going to be more like just surviving the rounds, but it's actually trying to push for the pace a bit. Johan has been a bit cashing in on the fact that, you know, a lot of people have been making mistakes here and there. And I think he gets a bit pressure since he's playing against a TMGL player, an ex-TMGL player who is quite dominant in the regional events in his region, also aka Bits. And Deska, who's also not too shabby at the game, has been really good at tech events and dirt events, and also has been very involved in the mapping scene. Actually, we're currently playing on his map as well at the moment. So yeah, either way, we're going to be starting off the match. The last few seconds of the warm-up will be starting on the winners semi-final. So the top 2 players will going to the on-stage part tomorrow. Bottom 2 will be going to the losers bracket matches that will be played after this set of matches. So we'll start off in this match. We have Mime, Bits, Johan, and Deska. So we have 2 Poles, a Lithuanian, and a Danish player. So far, looking at that, Mime probably is the biggest favorite from all of these guys, definitely. But I think we can see some fancy upsets happening here and there, as Mime was looking kind of shaky in some matches beforehand. But we'll see how it will go today. So Mime currently leading, following Bits in second place. Deska is also kind of up there. Had to break at the end. Lost a bit of consistency. Johan being a bit slower on side. Almost caught up, had a bit of an oversteer at the end. Now Mime gets a bit of a stable first position. Bits in second place, Deska in third, and Johan in fourth. Currently pretty noticeable gaps coming down to the end. Seems like Mime will be starting off the match with his first round win. I'm getting the first -3 out of the players. Bits with -5, Deska -7, and Johan with -10. So when we spoke with some of the players like behind the scenes, they said that like -10 is really noticeable. And we'll see how that will go, how will maybe impact like mentally as well then. Johan with the early mistake. Probably the pressure is starting to get to him a bit. Early mistake from Mime as well. Now currently it's a 1-2 fight between Bits and Deska. Deska also trying to risk for the outside line. Bits is coming in close with the inside line, having a bit of a 1v1 for the top 2 positions, as both Mime and Johan are having a bit behind. Currently Bits is leading, currently very following close by Deska. Deska gets a nice nose slide there, gets a bit more extra speed, goes for the overtake on Bits. Johan is bit chugging along in the backside, maybe waiting for a mistake from both of them. It looks like Bits and Deska are really pushing for the top position so far. Deska trying to get an extra lead, gets a nice exit, but Bits gets more speed, gets from the inside. Bits was only 4 thousandths away. Really close round, but still Deska keeps the -3. And Mime, with his mistake, is with -10 points, and Johan with a -7. So at the moment, both Deska and Bits are in the 1-2 positions in terms of total score-wise. Mime in third and Johan in fourth. No major mistakes at the early on. Like Mime is trying to get back into his groove of things, trying to keep up with the pace. Definitely he's one of the faster, like both of Bits, Mime and Deska are all very close in terms of the PBs. Johan is a bit behind, having around like 0.6, 0.5 comparing to rest of the players, but seems like Deska now with the early mistake. Now Deska, despite winning the previous round, is now out of it. Seems like Bits is trying to keep it consistent in that second place most of the time, as Mime is currently leading. There's a bit of a gap to third place to Johan. Bits almost hits the side right there, gets even the water wheels slide out a tiny bit, but still nothing too major. Oh, Bits gets a nose slide, a very unfortunate part, and that's actually allow Johan to snipe him for the second place. And Johan gets a needed -5 points that he definitely needs it. So yeah, actually now it's a pretty close fight for actually between all 4 players. So Johan definitely getting that consistency in that he kind of really needs it and gets it in. Yeah, seems like how it's going. So Johan a bit going for the safer bit insider LAN, comparing to everyone with the more outside line. The two poles in Lithuania are in the top. Bits gets a small clip. Mime, well, what was that? Like a release or something? You couldn't tell. If you get like something in middle of the road, that allows Deska to go in first place, while Johan is in second. Bits currently is in third. Seems like there's no technical issue from Mime's side, just like was a mistake. Currently a close fight for the second and third between Johan and Bits. Deska has a comfortable first place. Mime is slowly closing in though. Bits is still trying to fight for that second place together with Johan. Where is Bits? Johan crashed out, sadly. Very bit unfortunate. Deska gets the first place. Bits and Mime. Bits secures the second, Mime in third, and Johan with a very unfortunate mistake before the free wheel is with -10. So currently now, Bits is actually leading, Deska is in second place, and Mime actually has a chance of going to the losers according to the points. Johan is in fourth place, but also not too far off. So now we're going to Ski Freaks and Exoticus map, Out Encoder. Inconsistent on. I don't know if we can really, well, let's just say like that, okay? Anyway, upcoming from this map, so the match points for the top three have been looking pretty good, but Johan is not too far off as well. A bit unfortunate mistakes for him here and there, but he can actually kind of keep up with the pace a bit sometimes, especially if there's a mistake happening. So this Mime, despite being one of the favorites, let's just say being the definitely the most well-known player of the bunch at the event from the whole Trackmania scene, playing at the event. So he gets a bit of pressure, you know, because I feel like if he doesn't get like first here, I think most people think that he like underperformed or like wasn't that good. So if you do DNF, you get -15. So in regular couplet, like getting last or basically you do get some points, but if you do not finish in nothing, but here it's -15. Also the -10 already is kind of, let's just say, hurting a bit. We'll see how it will go in this round. We have seen some early mistakes popping up here and there. Let's see, it doesn't seem like to be that big of a case this time. Johan with a bit of slower start. The rest of the three players are quite closely packed together. All of them get a very nice drift. Mime goes for the sideways full grip, but still pretty close fight. Gets a better setup for the upcoming turn. Allows to keep the gear a bit easier. Johan is a bit behind. Deska in third place, Bits in second. Bits gets a bit more exit speed, however, he got the gear transfer a bit worse than Mime. Mime allowed to catch up. Actually, Deska popped a bit and over, got a nice catch up. Mime going for a very nice outside line, gets a bit more better momentum, however, it's still pretty close. Deska trying to go as a bit of a dirt snap, trying to catch up on Bits. To get some little bit half a second, seems like gonna be a close fight for first, and looks like Mime still gets the first place. Really close round between Deska and Bits, and Johan is a bit behind with a 58-1. So at the moment, Johan is with 68 points, actually 58. Definitely the gap is starting to increase bit by bit. A lot of the top players are also not making that many noticeable mistakes. Maybe all the small mistakes are literally a bit too much oversteering or some kind of unfortunate gear transfer or something like that. It was really just micro stuff at this point. Seems like a clean start from all of the players. Deska, Mime and Bits are quite closely packed at top. But Deska needs to have a small release to adjust the angle. Bits goes a bit wider, trying to get... Oh, Bits gets a very unfortunate gear at the exit part that really cancels all of the momentum he had, allowing all the two poles going into lead. Johan is kind of close at the bottom with only 0.5 difference. Small mistake, and he definitely can cash in on that. Close fight between Bits and Deska for the second place. Johan tries to play it safe with a bit more inside approach, while all three players try to risk for outside. Mime with a solid first place, following by Bits. Deska is also quite close as well. Mime gets a nice approach, but the Deska gets a bit more speed, gets a bit nicer inside line, snipes Bits for the second place. The approach was way better. Also not too shabby of a time from Mime as well. And he gets the -3 to give that extra advantage coming on the end parts of the event. Deska now currently in second place in overall, and Bits in third. Johan with bit airtime at the start. Bit a better approach from both of the Polish players. And Bits got a bit stumble here, but nothing too crazy. Johan tried to risk it to keep up with the pace, got a small touch here and there. Seems like the fight for top 3 is looking really, really close. I'm currently leading, very close fight for second. Deska gets a bit better approach, but had to do a small release adjustment. Allows Bits to overtake. Mime is still leading with a small gap. Oh, Bits and Deska got a better approach than Mime. Suddenly Bit close in. Mime touches, allows Deska and Bits to overtake. Bits trying to attack with the inside line, trying to reduce the travel distance. Deska gets a bit better jumping approach, or Bits gets a bit more speed. However, the nicer line from Bits, and he still makes it. Mime almost snipes him. Mime with the third place still. And Deska gets a -3, Bits for -5, Johan with -10 in the end. So it looks like the top 3 places seem to be a bit all over the place. Really, really close fight between the top 3 players. Johan is a bit behind. I think the camera doesn't do the justice so far, but he's always like around 0.5, 0.4 behind, which in this kind of matchup is kind of a big time difference. Oh, very close start from all 4 players this time around. Actually, Johan now is leading, picking up the pace a bit. Gets a bit shakier. Oh, what a beautiful turn there by Bits. Puts himself into lead due to that. Johan is now trying to put into the fight as well. All players get the gear up at the end. Deska trying to go for the micro optimization, trying to get some lines in. Bits with a bit of wider approach there. Allows Mime for the potential overtake with Bits in second place. Currently Mime is leading with Bits and Deska very, very close. Small gear changes here and there. Seems like a very close pack for the top 3 so far. Bits is leading, following by Deska and Mime so far. Mime tries to attack for inside, like Bits touches, Deska touches, and it's gonna be Mime still taking the first place, Deska in second, and Bits gonna be in third. Was a very close round with small mistakes happening at the very end, but it was actually really close for Johan to also cash in on some of those megs, but sadly was just not enough. So now we're going to the next map. So starting off on Rusko. Currently, Mime is leading with 61 points. However, Deska is really close, just 2 points behind. Then there's a bit of a 7 points difference to Bits. And then Johan is with 28. So it does seem like that Mime is either first or last in some of these rounds. At least feels like it's sometimes time to time. So this is going to be, I think, one of the maps that we're going to see really, really close rounds already, as we're starting to see a bit of a treat, I would say, already, at least on the previous map. So the key part on this map was the exact same turn that Deska took, or this whole section, because it does allow, if you do manage to get the upper gear and keep the upper gear for the whole part, you get way more speed, because in the fourth gear, the car is a bit faster comparing to third one. So we'll see its first rounds while starting on Rusko. We'll see how this matchup will be going. So far it's looking quite good for all top 3 players. Mime is ahead, let's just say he has a bit more, let's just say, a life in the match. But it's still really, really close, and it might most likely come down to the last few rounds, I feel like it. Johan also needs to step up his game as well. Just mainly gets the consistency in, as Deska gets an early mistake. Now it's a 3-people race at the top. Mime is leading, followed by the Bits in second place. Johan is in third place. Bits did get a weird approach there, got a bit too much airtime. Mime got a really weird line there as well. Had to release a bit at the exit point, allowed Bits to overtake. Johan tries to go for a safer approach to keep the gear. However, it wasn't executed that well. And Deska went for the full risk and managed to caught up. Also keep the upper gear for the upcoming part, and Bits with a small release at the very end. Oh, very risky line there by Deska. Seems like Mime is gonna have a stable lead, following by Deska. Goes for the outside line, gets a sick dirt wiggle, snipes Bits at the very, very end. Actually not too shabby of a round for the bottom 3 positions, as Mime was bit in his own game. But yeah, really nice end there by Deska with the extra, that's tiny bit of a dirt wiggle as well, allowed him to get that extra bit of speed to snipe in Bits at the end as well. So at the moment, Johan is already 18 points away from entering the reverse finalist. Not that many mistakes happening from most of the players, it's just pure consistency and pace. So this is the part where like the pace really needs to basically shines, because the mistakes are happening quite rarely at this point. Seems like all top three players are pushing really hard. Johan is quite a bit behind, had an early small touch, and that was Deska who clipped aside, managed to, you know, play off the map. It seems like Mime is in a small lead, following by Bits very close, just only 0.08 behind. Bit of a 1v1, here it comes down, who keeps the gear very close. Oh, Bits gets a bit better, gets also a bit better setup as well. Mime had to do extra adjustments, but Bits had to bit better adjustment as well for the upcoming part. Bit more exit speed from Mime, he really risked that part. Went for the overtake, all comes down to the outside line. We already saw, looks like Bits is trying to save it a bit. And Mime went for a riskier side and still managed to keep him the top position with the -3 points, and Bits with the -5. And looks like Johan actually sniped Deska at the very end, getting -7, bit of a left points reduction. Definitely that -10 really helps out Bits in this scenario, as the only points difference between second and third is only 4 extra points. So to keep in mind, the top 2 players from this match will be going to the winners finals on stage that will be played tomorrow. The bottom 2 will be going to the lower brackets that will be played afterwards, after this set of matches, on the other matches as well. Sadly, I can't keep you updated what's happening on the other side, but we can focus on this one. Seems like Johan is 0.3 behind at the start. Seems like a close race so far. Deska has finally a decent enough start. Bits tried to go for the inside line, trying to reduce the travel distance, but sacrifices exit speed due to that. Oh, gets unlucky with the airtime, small airtime, but literally thrown off his line, and now it's a 1v1 between Deska and Mime. Mime is really close there, but seems like Deska still has the exact same momentum as Mime does. Bit too many adjustments from Deska's side. Mime managed to do a bit less one, but Deska's line is pretty nice. He still managed to keep the side. We saw that Deska's getting the nice snipe on Bits previously, but seems like the Mime actually risked it for a bit. And actually not too shabby of a time. Really good times actually from both Mime and Deska. A 0.2 and 0.3, which is, let's just say, pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, due to that, again, -3, -5. Johan gets another -10, and Johan is only 1 point. It's hanging out his last point. And after that, he will be put into reverse finalist. The Bits is with 33 points, so he gets a bit of a breathing room so far. But Johan is definitely on his just last, let's just say, life left. Looks like there's early mistake. Bits as well, but not with having the best of starts. Sadly for Johan, the placement won't matter that much in this round, as basically he just will need to finish. And but however, he can still mess up other players' games. Sometimes, you know how it's on all other like sports or esports and other matches, despite, you know, having a bit of, you know, it can still impact other people's like results in the end. And especially since the fight for second and third is kind of noteworthy, he can definitely mess up what kind of points will either Bits or Deska get at the end. Especially if Bits managed to snipe, and looks like, oh, what a crazy outside line there. He was a bit too much travel distance, so it wasn't that worth it, but managed to still survive with that. And I think Bits really wants to snipe Johan at the end to get those extra points reduced, but doesn't need enough, and Johan is -3. Mime gets a 57.9. Seems like a bit of a safer time comparing to other times, just trying to have a safe round, especially saw that Deska had a pretty... and Bits didn't have that great of a round. But yeah, now it's Johan is on reverse finalist. Deska gets a -10, so the points difference between Deska and Bits is only 3 points now, as we're going to be going on the next map. So this is going to be the map that previously in the previous rounds was more of the, or you can say it's definitely one of those consistency-based maps. Because there are a lot of parts in the map, on this map especially, on Road Raid, where just one small part, you can take it only one specific way. Basically, if you have a bit more outside line, inside line, you get thrown out completely. But yeah, now this is the final opportunity for Johan to redeem himself. He's not fully out, as long as he just is not last. And since this is such a, let's just say, difficult map to do fast, it's definitely we might see some mistakes pop up from either Mime, Deska, or Bits. Especially this part, this third turn doesn't seem like it's quite wide, but the real line to without getting airtime is just really, really, really tight. And seems like that there's gonna be a lot of risking happening between the top 3 players to get a bit more into the groove of the match, trying to just deny other people, basically send them just lower and lower in the leaderboard. We might see some risks happening from the top sides, which is kind of the thing I feel like Johan really wants to push it forwards to. Anyways, we're going to be starting off. Johan is on his last life, so I think he will be the player who will look out for in this round. So Johan from Denmark is on reverse finalist. If he places last, he will be in last place in this match. Will be sent to the losers bracket. But he can, of course, still deny points, so it all comes down to a bit of a mistake from the others, I would say. Seems like Bits with a bit slower start from the top 3 field as Johan gets an unfortunate bump. Might put him out of this match. Now it's all come down who will deny most points from each of the players. Currently Mime is in a stable lead, Deska is in a stable second, well, not so stable anymore as Bits is coming in. Bits had a bit of an oversteer there, lost a tiny bit of airtime, due to that lost a bit of grip there as well. Bits is still closing in from the behind of Deska, only half a tenth left as Mime is currently leading. There's a small trickster where they can do a small air brake and get a water bounce that is a bit faster than getting a full grip at the end. We might see some people going for that. Seems like Bits got it, almost sniped it with that as well. And Mime gets us 56.9, which is not too shabby over the time as well. Also Deska's and Bits times with 57 is also not too shabby for rounds, but this sadly will be for Johan, who did place 4th in this match, will be sent to the losers bracket. Now it's all come down to the top 3, so another player from all these 3 will be sent to the losers, and the top 2 will be qualified for the winners finals that will be played on stage tomorrow. But it's definitely trying to risk it for the biscuit. Oh wait, seemed like Deska touched there, but was a bit sussy, as some people say. But still managed to keep all the momentum. Bits gets a nice grip from the inside, but still a small gap between him and the poles. Only one tenth between him and Deska. So it all comes down to the end. Small adjustments from both Bits and Deska. Nice inside line from Bits. Doesn't carry as much momentum for the freewheel part, but still seems like a really close fight with him. But Bits a bit clips, has to readjust the slide as well. Loses a 0.1 due to that. Mime still with the solid first place. Let's see what will come down to the end. Bits goes for the wider line, trying to get a better setup for the water bounce. It's still not enough because the gap was 0.2. Mime with the solid 56 regu right now. And Deska with a 0.2. It seems like some of the -7s now going on Bits' side. So Bits is only like 12 points away from entering reverse finalists, while Deska is at 19. Mime is in a pretty safe 43, so he has the most amount of breathing room. And also, since only one player, wow, Bits unfortunate mistake. A bit of molding from Bits in real person as well, I can witness. But currently it's a 1v1 between Mime, sorry. Oh, what is this? Seems like it's a pretty close 1v1 between Deska and Mime so far. As Mime actually had a small mistake. 1 second lead, where is Bits? Bits is also so a pretty boring round so far. 1 second difference between all of the players. Mime also with the mistake. Sadly, Bits' mistake was a bit too high. Deska gets a free -3 points due to that. Maybe we'll see some crazy end happening, but I don't think that from these players that might be expected. Yeah, so actually pretty good time for there from Deska, 56.9. Definitely keeping up with Mime's pace. Bit unfortunate, -7 for Bits. So Bits really needs to literally get first. Otherwise he will be put into reverse finalist in the next round. While both Deska and Mime have a bit of breathing space so far. Oh, look like what does Mime? Mime with the unfortunate mistake. Okay, molding from Mime on his side in real life as well. As I can see, so far looks like a 1v1 with between Deska and Bits. So this is a good opportunity for Bits to snipe for... Yeah, of course. Okay, another ZZZ round, as the French scene said. So Deska has an amazing opportunity for a free -3. Bits will have the, well, let's just say a little sad opportunity going in reverse finalists so far, especially due to the fact that Mime got a very early on mistake. Mime is also quite a bit behind. Everyone's trying to keep compact with the game, unless there's a crazy mistake happening at the end by Deska, but Deska just tries to keep it nice and consistent, trying to maintain his 56 or 57-2 pace, and it's enough for him to get some solid points at the end as well. So now Bits is going into reverse finalists, while Deska got a -3, so he gets way more like, oh, sticky keys were enabled, okay. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate in that regard. Actually, Chem was admitting just behind his back, so and then so like, yeah, let's just keep going. So there was no match pause due to that. Yeah, happens. So yeah, either way, that's going to be now the next map. So this map is definitely going to be the more consistency parts, especially since all players are really pushing for the pace. The nibble part will be really important then for that. Since Bits is on, let's just say, if Bits gets last, he's eliminated and sent to the lower side. He needs to survive for at least, well, depends on how Deska does. He will... he needs to basically keep on and not being last for basically a couple of rounds within all of these 3 players to basically have a chance to qualify for the on-stage match, on-stage winners finals tomorrow. So at the moment, Mime with 31 points, let's just say safety gap. Deska with 13, and Bits is meanwhile on the absolute danger zones. So yeah, this map in the middle part, there's a dirt turn where you can full grip the inside and you can save quite a bit. Plus on the top, you can get an upper gear as well. And with some very clever dirt wiggles, you can force yourself with basically reduce the airtime, and it can basically in total save like over 0.5 or going a safe way optimally, or like just like not doing that optimally. So at this state, I think that will be very important, as Bits has a very early mistake. Quite unfortunate, so it gives a great opportunity for Polish players to go in. However, anything can still happen in the middle part, to be honest. It is a pretty big gap on this map, the middle part, you know, anything can still go either way. So at the moment, Mime is still leading. Deska goes for the save. Mime did risk it though. Went for the lower jump. Deska got the lower jump at the end. Deska trying to play safe since a 0.5 difference. Bits is trying to risk it. Deska touches at the exit point as well. This is coming out from a dirt part, but how big is the points difference? Seems like it's 0.9 between Deska and Bits, but not too much of map left, and I think this might be it for Bits unless something mysterious happens at the end. Deska does make the finish, and Bits will be sent to losers bracket. And both of the Mime and Deska will be playing on stage tomorrow in the winners finals. So yeah, congrats to Mime and Deska for making it, as also the other match also ended on the other side. Yeah, there's players congratulating each other on a very close match. These actually were very close rounds, and in some specific cases as well. Johan was a bit outmatched in terms of pace, but he definitely could have put up a good match. Yeah, good sportsmanship having IRL as well. I actually love to see it. But yeah, those are gonna be some of the updates. People also congratulating each other from the other side. Maybe someone of you want to come out from the other side as well, talk about the other match. Auris want to come on? You'll have to bit lean in on the microphone then, if you know.
My hands are fucking shaking.
I can see that, yeah. So how did your match go?
It went pretty well. I only got
bit closer.
I only got like 2 fourth places, so it was really good. I played really good on the Felina map, which was my worst map. I played really good on that. I don't know what happened. I played really good. I had almost no pressure, except at the end. I'm literally still shaking. Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome. So from the other match, it was Mime and Deska who made it. It was really close for Bits. But it wasn't for your match. I'm guessing forever, and you made it, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So due to that, I think both Kasper and Bresso will be in lowers then.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, that's really awesome. Are you excited to play on stage as well tomorrow?
I'm excited, but also I think I've just passed out on the stage. This pressure, I can't handle it.
But I think it's an awesome experience overall as well.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm really happy I got some LAN experience.
Yeah,
it will
that's
definitely
awesome.
help in the future, I think.
So now, since you'll have will be playing on the winners finals tomorrow, so you'll be playing against Forever, Mime, and Deska now. How do you see your chances on potentially sniping yourself into the grand
I
finals?
don't know.
Afterwards?
I have 3 Poland guys. So I think I'm just gonna full set and see where it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that was Auris in the mid-match interview
Thank you.
with all Winkus around. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. We're gonna be going on the losers semifinals. So some of the people who did lose from some of these matches, like Bresso, Johan, Bits, and Kasper, will be now playing against the winners from the early semifinals. So definitely stay tuned.